Today's video, it's going to be a little bit scattered, but I want to talk about three main things. And that is number one, just encouragement, how to keep pushing through tough times. This could apply to small YouTube creators, but just people in general. We'll even touch on things like layoffs, for example. And then secondly, we'll talk about, this is mainly an outdoor and adventure channel primarily, and we'll talk about how to stay comfortable in cold weather, because right now in Denver, Colorado, we're having a bit of a polar plunge or polar vortex, if you will, and it's 16 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which I think is about -8 degrees Celsius, and later on in a couple days it's supposed to get down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is around -17 degrees Celsius, so pretty cold. One of my favorite cozy pieces of, I don't know if I'd even call it gear, but just these North Face thermoball booties. These are so comfortable to wear when you're going out in the snow or just driving up to the mountains and whatnot. I'm gonna put on these burly hiking boots for today, but yeah, these are just super cozy. Got the DJI Mic 2 right here, and I love these little wind screens. It's not that windy today, but I'm gonna use it anyway. It just kind of looks like a furry little mouse friend on your microphone. So it's my first time using it, so we'll see how this works. Hopefully the audio is fine for you all. If it's not, just let me know in the comments, and if you just want me to shut the hell up in general, that's fine too. And when it comes to gear, one of the biggest unsung heroes in winter conditions is a face buff. And I don't know what these are called in other places, but I just know it as a buff or a face buff. And they make them in various thicknesses and whatnot. This one's by Patagonia. Of course, eye protection is always going to be critical in the wintertime. I got these ridiculous sunglasses. These are called, it's a company called Be Fresh. I got them up in a ski resort town, Steamboat Springs in Colorado. My wife and I were, let's just say we were a little tipsy when we made the purchase, and we're really stoked. I still love them. I think now when my wife sees me, she starts to question a little bit the decision making, but maybe it's just my face. I'm not really sure. But wearing some big sunglasses offers good protection. If I were to be hiking out in the mountains like I was originally planning, but the roads were looking really sketch, so I decided not to, I would actually bring goggles, especially in windy conditions. I wouldn't even wear sunglasses, but I know some people hate the feeling of hiking with goggles on their face. If that's you, a good pair of sunnies should do you just fine. Beautimus. Just a lovely walk in the woods. Not at all the woods, but the park. Even though there's quite a few people out here, it's still very beautiful. Woo. It's my first attempt at trying to get a cute little shot, so we'll see how it goes. So I found this nice bench just next to this kind of like Acropolis type looking structure here in Cheesman Park in Denver. And so I mentioned I wanted to talk about some words of encouragement. If you're watching this video, somehow I think fate has led you to this moment, because I'm just starting this crappy YouTube channel, and I'm already having a lot of fun with it, to be honest. But there's just a lot of negativity out in the world right now. There's some awful geopolitical tensions. There's some horrible wars going on. Those wildfires in LA. There's just a lot, tons of layoffs. That one has affected me recently, so that kind of stings. There's just a lot of sadness and anger and hate in the world, but there is also some beauty and some good stuff if you're willing to look for it. Right now I've got a couple of squirrels playing on this tree next to me. It's beautiful out. And so anyway, this is just a message to you if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling, feeling like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're alive, you've got lungs, you've got breath in your lungs, you've got blood beating through your heart. There's a lot to be grateful for. So sometimes you just gotta take a step back and honestly get out in nature, or do whatever that is. Do whatever it is that makes you feel good. I think self-care is really, really important right now. And if you're going through hard times, I hope this is just an encouraging message to you. Just keep going. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. It's truly not over until you give up. So this is an entirely unscripted video, clearly, and I'm rambling and not articulating myself very well at all. But I will try to do better in future videos. But that's just my quick little message to you. Back to the topic of layoffs specifically. That's a fun one, isn't it? I've worked for several companies that have gone through cuts, but this is the first time I myself got impacted just a couple of weeks before Christmas. So thankfully I've got some severance. I'm very, very grateful for that. But yeah, for anyone who has been laid off, you know what that feels like. It stings, especially a lot of us, our identity gets wrapped up in our jobs, and it's hard not to take it personally. It's hard not to, quite frankly, feel bad about yourself. But in many, many cases, in most cases, layoffs really had nothing to do with you, and there's nothing you could do about it. In the certain instances where, hey, maybe there was something performance-wise that was there that could be improved, then take what you can from it. Take a learning lesson from it. But I think the most important thing when you get laid off is to just take a breather, recognize that doesn't mean you're a bad person, and just sort of practice some self-care, and then, like I said, relax, take a breather, and then you can kind of focus on next steps. But it's just really, really easy to get down on yourself. And so you need to just take that time to kind of sit with it and start to feel better, because truly just wasn't your fault, and most likely it wasn't your fault, and it's happened now. So all you can do is try to move forward. And I know it's definitely a very scary, uncomfortable feeling. It's certainly very uncomfortable for me, but I do actually think it's going to be a blessing in disguise in the long run. I wasn't, super happy with where I was at. Felt like I was a little bit stagnating in my career with the company. And so now I'm looking forward to getting out there and trying something new, learning some new skills. And we'll just see where life takes me. So going to the park today was not actually my plan at all. I was hoping to go out for an epic snow hike in the mountains, maybe to a frozen waterfall. I think on Sunday I was planning on taking my split board out into Rocky Mountain National Park and doing some backcountry boarding. The reason I didn't go today is there was a flash freeze in Colorado, and there was supposed to be a ton of black ice on the highway. And I'm sure you've heard of it, but if not, black ice is just when an invisible layer, almost invisible layer of ice forms on the roads and highways. And oh man, I That's the last thing I need right now, is to wreck my truck or get injured in an accident. So this is my first time using the DJI Mic 2, and it's actually my first time really getting out and recording with some of this new equipment. So I figured, you know what, I would just go out for a lovely little jaunt in the park and just get outside. It's also really cold. I mean, like I said earlier, 16 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 8 degrees Celsius. You know, that's pretty chilly. And so I think tomorrow maybe I'll go for like a bigger hike and bring all this equipment and whatnot. But it's just been really, really fun getting out here. I don't think you can really see that Acropolis looking structure behind me, but Cheesman Park, this is like a very, very popular park in Denver. In the summertime, there's people out here playing volleyball and throwing frisbees around. And in the winter, you got people walking their dogs and even doing some cross-country skiing and whatnot. So it's just a good time, and I'm just so happy and grateful to be able to come out here and just be outside. And so I think I'm gonna close this one out here. Apologies that it was so rambly and scattered, but like I said, I'm very, very new to the YouTube game. But if you'd like to follow along on this journey while I try to build out, you know what I mean? I'll try to build out this channel. And if you're interested in just outdoor adventures and just positivity and good vibes, consider, leaving a comment, liking this video, and subscribing. And again, if somehow this video made it to you and you've made it all the way through, I think really good things are coming your way. So just keep trying and don't give up, my friend. All right, talk to you later. In my opinion, one of the most unsung heroes, we'll cut that.